tweet it out too. Remember, you can always follow me at the Strat Prof, Strategy Professor on Twitter, and I'm gonna try to get better about tweeting it and then putting out timestamps the next day. I know I go in and out of that all the time, but I'm gonna try to do a better job of putting timestamps on the games too. And our Smurf is getting up there. It's getting close to level 30, and when we do that, then you know, then we can play ranked, and then I can play a wider variety of things too, and still probably put up a pretty decent win rate. I just, unfortunately, you know, when we're just trying to push towards Diamond here, I just have to do what I think is going to give me the best chance to win, and that's just a lot of how League, you know, is designed, is you really have to be able to carry people. Like, you have to play your optimal champ a lot if you really want to be able to climb efficiently, unless you're smurfing. You know, if you're pushing up against, you know, some boundaries, some upper level bounds, like, you know, lower diamond right now is kind of my upper level bounds. Like, it's really hard for me to get, even to get back to diamond. A lot of times, you know. It takes a while, so that means I can't screw around. You know, I can't be first time and stuff or playing stuff that I think is suboptimal, either because balance-wise I think it's a bit weaker, or just because I simply can't play the champion as well as I can play Recon or some of my better choices. So, you know, I'll try to sneak in some variety whenever I can, but, you know, I'm just trying to get back to Diamond again for just a higher level of respectability, especially among new viewers. It's kind of like the #1 goal, and then we can try to get some more diversity in there after that if possible. I know everyone loves diversity, but a lot of people, especially newer people, really want me to be at least a diamond rank as well. Hey, what's up, DM? Yeah, I'm probably going to have to leave a little bit early tonight because I do have a ton of papers I have to still finish. So I'm probably going to stay up all night grading those. So I'm probably going to do Recon here just because they do have an assassin and he's so good against assassins.
Let's dance!
Hey, thanks, Nagarake. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. That helps out a ton. I'm glad I can brighten your day up a little bit. That brightens my day up. That'll definitely get me through the night there. Staying up late grading these essays. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, good call. I'll change the title there. What, I think we're at like 18 LP or something. Is this dodge? One of them are gonna dodge. That's probably okay. There's that. Okay, so let's change that. I'm pretty sure we're at 18. I guess I could just look, huh? Yeah, we started at 17. We started off doing pretty well yesterday, and then we lost a few in a row, which sucked. I mean, we had been doing really well, you know, for the past 3 or 4 days. You know, we've been winning a lot. But, you know, we went from Platinum 4 pretty close to 0 LP, and then within 4 days we were back up to Platinum 2. Okay, let me... I'm just waiting for a second. Anytime there's a dodge, a lot of times it's a good idea to wait just because you don't know why the enemy dodged. Like, it could have been an honest mistake. Someone just went to the bathroom and didn't get back fast enough or something like that. But, it could also be they had a troll on their team. You know, someone who was freaking out saying, I'm going to throw this game on purpose. I don't care. And maybe that's not the person who dodged. Maybe someone else dodged because there was a troll in their chat. And with the way that it shuffles the teams, you could end up on the team, you know, with that troll. So it's better just to get a fresh reset, just get a new queue where there's no probability. Because you don't know what happened, but you know that something weird happened over there. So I think the probability is higher than normal that there's a troll over there. Even if it's only like, you know, 5% higher that there's a troll over there, you know, that's still 5% higher. Right? So why put yourself at additional risk when you can just wait a couple of minutes and not do that? Oh, it's the 26th here, Scott. Okay. Dude, these classes that would kill me. I guess it is nicer on the grading though, because I think there's only. Jesus. Well, let me think about this for a second. I have like 30, maybe 34 students in my 2 classes combined. It's kind of smaller classes. This semester, they're trying to make these classes a bit smaller. I've talked about this before. These are a lot more at-risk kids because a lot of them failed in the fall, and they're retaking it in the spring. Like the freshmen, the first class in the freshman comp sequence. And, yeah, so it's more at-risk kids. They're trying to hook them up by only putting, like, 17 or 18 kids in the class so they get more individualized attention, and they're trying to put all these extra resources into these kids, but you just can't make them show up. Like, I do everything that I can to make, like, to show that I'm trying to help and to make the stuff seem relevant. I know that's a huge thing, for a lot of people out there. You know, it's like, okay, well, I want to go in to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer, I want to be an accountant or whatever, and so they think English doesn't matter. So I do so many activities and different things to show them how they can actually use this out in the real world. You know, more effective critical thinking, more effective writing, and things like that. It's not just memorize this obscure poem from the 17th century, or obscure porn from the 17th century. You know, it's actually trying to be useful. So, I don't know. I do everything I can to get them motivated. I send them emails. I'm like, hey, you can still pass if you start showing up and turning stuff in. I try to be a little flexible at deadlines, as flexible as I can with attendance, but, you know, shave off some of the penalties if someone tries to turn it around, but it's just tough. It does make it a little bit easier to grade, though, because only like 20 people turned in papers out of the 34 for this last assignment, so it's a lot faster for me to grade them. And of the ones that turned it in, you know, there's probably 30% of those are going to be like really low quality, like barely on topic, and so you can just kind of, you know, fly through those a bit faster. But it's a real problem. Okay, so I feel bad. I need to talk to my director. I'm like, dude, is it normal for like half of the class to fail, you know, like an English 101 type of course? I mean, this isn't chemistry. That happens all the time in chem. In like the science classes, it's not unusual to have like a class average of like a 40 or a 50, and then they curve it at the end. But English classes, that's not usually the case. Is Tristana bad? I would say Tristana is not great. It depends. She's a pretty risky pick. Okay, hold on. Let me focus here for a second. Okay, so this guy's first time Silas top, or second time Silas top. Not that great. It's probably Luck support. Could be Shin support. Maybe Echo. Probably Echo mid, Shin top, Luck support.
Let's dance.
The guy's a one-trick Amumu. The Talon's okay, but not amazing. Lucian's okay. He's against Shin top. Shin's not that aggressive early on. I guess we'll play it. Probably against my better judgment, but... Yeah, I have Nami as number 2 overall. I have Rakan as number 1, but to be like Rakan, I think is a lot harder to play than Nami. So if you don't have a lot of experience on Rakan, Nami is probably number 1. I agree with Scott. Ivers number 2. So yeah, she's a lot stronger. I mean, so it was the change to her E, but also it's the just the change in meta around, like most notably the big nerfs to Soraka and Sona, because those were her 2 main challengers as supports in the bot lanes. They both outscale her. So yeah, a lot of times, you know, and this is what goes unstated on a lot of these websites that just look at statistics or just look at like what the actual change is. They don't see the entire ecosystem, you know, because when one champion gets nerfed, other champions get indirectly buffed. And when some champions get buffed, other champions get indirectly nerfed because they all exist in relationship to each other. And so a lot of times to identify like what the meta is going to be, you have to see kind of those second and third order derivatives there of like, you know, how the dominoes are going to fall based on the balance around certain champions. Because it could have been some champions that were keeping a lot of other champions in line, and if they get nerfed, then those other champions start running wild. So for instance, there was stuff that was keeping Ornn in line before that had the, you know, they had Conquer. That was something that was keeping Ornn in line, is when that used to do true damage. And some of these other, like, top lane split pushers that could really bully him out early and beat him in split pushing was keeping him in line, you know, most of last year. But it was after those got changed, then he started to get unleashed, and now he's overpowered in the top lane. So that's kind of what's really interesting about, you know, League, is all of these different factors and trying to solve the puzzle. And then they give you, like, they basically smash the puzzle every 2 weeks. Maybe not smash it, but they adjust it a little bit. They move some pieces around, and you try to solve it again for 2 weeks. So I do have an ADC tier list video, so be sure to check that out if you want the in-depth explanation of those things. But I think Aphelios, Cassiopeia, Senna, Misfortune, and I had Kalista as sort of my fairly spicy rising star that I think is really underrepresented right now. She's starting to see more and more pro play. I think she's pretty good. You think landing bubbles is harder than W? I think it's basically about the same animation speed. Like, Rakan's mechanics aren't what's really hard about him. What's hard about him is that he's, like, really risky if you don't know what you're doing, because you can get blown up. Because he's really fragile with a lot of his builds, and so you have to be able to dodge CC and make good decisions on where you're going and what you're doing. Like, you have the tools to make him very safe and very effective, but if you don't know how to use those tools properly, then you can definitely feed. Oh, my bad. Okay. Let me fix the black screen here. Okay, got it. But yeah, I mean, Tristana's a little, like, if you get ahead with something that's very aggressive early, like a Leona, Tristana can be pretty good. Like, she's very oppressive when she's ahead, because if she's allowed to jump forward, and get resets and just run you down, then it's almost impossible to deal with her in lane. So, like, Leona can, you know, I guess Leona Trist is probably the best thing if you just want to double down on super risky early and try to snowball. She can be good, but she has a really hard time managing waves because she always has to push because of her explosive shot. And so that can be really problematic, because she can't really control it. She has to push. If they made it toggleable again, to where she didn't have it, but they can't really do that because now she has the bomb mechanic.
They will see my dance. Then will know magic.
Oh, okay. What? I mean, there was no way. I don't even think Lucian was going to get a single shot on her. I was just trying to just get her a little more scared, just to tap her with a little damage, just to use my mana. But she went ahead and full on flashed. The Lux is really obnoxious and barred against Rakan, because if I try to shield, Then we can both get stunned.
When I get sad, I stop being sad and be awesome instead.
We're getting blasted in this lane. But yeah, so like if she's just risky. Like if you're ahead, she's great. If you're behind, I mean, she can dodge stuff, which is nice, but it's really hard. It's really hard for her to last hit under tower, and she kind of has to put like. She's just really terrible at managing waves. I mean, that's the gist of it. So that's why. That's why there are usually better options, but. It'll push back, or we can go get this. We do have priority.
It's a revolution. And it's
Oh, did he miss his jump? I don't have mana, bro. You need to be very careful. I know, dude. I know. It sucks. Like, it was just a really awkward timing. I should have maybe stayed in range for that experience, but whatever. That is really awkward.
Gotta get
Let's just do it that way.
One, two. Woo!
I do want Mercs. They have a lot of CC with like Echo, Lux, Shin Taunt. You know, there's a lot of dangers. You like her Halloween skin? I mean, you can win with, honestly, at like most ELO brackets, like the wave management doesn't matter as much. If you're just really good on the champ, you enjoy it. She does have the potential to get a lot of picks and kills. So if you have an aggressive support, you know, it can work. It's just the higher the ELO bracket goes, the more challenging it is if you have poor wave management. Oh, he went double Dorans? Yikes. Get the...
It's all
You need to go get that honey fruit soon, man.
And that's why I love it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. I guess I can check and make sure there are no control wards back and... guess we can get a glacial. Almost. It's really weird back timing. I'm just gonna wait on a glacial, I guess. Yeah, the 1K Moby thing, you know, I think Rakan might actually move to Swiftness. I'm gonna try it out and see, but like the 5 extra movement speed plus the tax on Mobies is gonna be kind of bad for roaming support. Rakan doesn't rely on the Mobies as much as other ones. I mean, half of the games I end up taking a defensive boot anyways. So I think that's much more of a hit for champions that are all in on roam. Like Blitz, Blitz, Thresh, stuff like that almost never get a defensive boot. Get her. He's trying to take one more hit. Should have backed out. But yeah, I mean, Rakan can still take Tabby. He can still take Mercs. he might be able to take swiftness. Because, he wants to be able to move around in combat. It's not just about starting the fight with Rakan. Because when it's like Nautilus, Leona, stuff like that, like once you start the fight, you're pretty good to go. Well, like the swiftness with Rakan, because you're constantly trying to reposition, you want to be able to tag as many people as possible with your ult. Like, maybe. I'm still not entirely sure you would go swiftness. Maybe you just start getting Mercs or Ninja Tabby more often.
I totally forgot my
But, yeah, it'll hit the roamers a lot harder. Yeah, like you mentioned Kiana. A lot of those assassins that get the Mobis, the Kianas, the Talons and stuff like that are going to be hurt by that. But honestly, Mobis are, they're too good for their cost. Yeah, it's kind of a weird control ward, but I thought they might have warded it. Her ult should still be on cooldown. It's a pretty long cooldown early level.
Rampage. Double kill.
Okay, alright, well, this one's... this one's looking good. Bard is the highest win rate. I don't have him as number 1 because he's really hard to play. He's even harder than Rakan to play, I think. Now, there are a lot of people that play him, though. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not, like, giving him enough credit, but... I think I had him top 5, out of respect. But to me, he's just really conditional. I don't know, like, he's kind of risky. He does have good escapes if he's near walls and you play him correctly. You just have to play him, like, he's one of the best one-tricks, I think, for sure, for supports. But if it's just, like, little Jimmy playing, wanting something to gain a couple of divisions in a couple of weeks, right? He's Silver 2, wants to hit that Gold 4 by the end of March. Should he be playing Rakan? I mean, I don't think so. Come here. He's gonna dunk in him. Don't get... Oh, God. Oh, she missed it. Why are you seeing so many people playing Kalista? Because the pros are playing it. I think I'm one of the only tier lists that actually had her tier 1, if I do say so myself. But yeah, I mean, it's just straight up, pros are playing her. People just like to play new stuff. But I explain it in my, if you're talking about why are pros playing it, I explained that in my support tier list video. So strategically, I think that she is really good for a lot of reasons right now. The main reason is the game's slowing down by quite a bit. So you're getting like 35, 40-minute games much more often, even 30 to 35. And crit champs have been nerfed a lot. I guess let's go ahead and complete this. I like the movement speed, but that extra damage boost is very nice. But the crit is slowing down because what Kalista wants to be really strong is she wants nice slow fights where she's not going to get flanked, where she can use really exploit her ability to kite, and she's not going to get blown up immediately. Like if it's a longer fight where she gets to stick a lot of spears in people, she actually has really high DPS. Each spear is something like 120% total AD. It's something like that. And you have Hurricane, which stacks multiple spears in people. I could have flashed after that, but Lucian was kind of far away. And I didn't know where anyone else like Lux or mid was, so that's fine. Just get her heal. So that's really what she wants. So you haven't seen her in years because it's been like mostly crit champs or assassins or both everywhere, and she just doesn't have enough time to like stick enough spears in people. But now, like I said, that it's slowing down, she has more time to stick people. What do I think about Wukong's mini rework? I don't know. I mean, I haven't really honestly looked at it that closely because they've been talking about it for months and months and hasn't happened. So I spent so much time last year talking about like Teemo's rework, and then after like 4 months of testing, they just never did it. So I don't know. To me, it doesn't look like a significant change. Like that would change his style that much. A little bit, like it'd make him a little bit better in lane, but I don't know. I'll have to see what the final product is.
Our people are bleeding.
Huh.
My lady's gonna heal.
But yeah, it's just, you know, like I said, it's mostly the nerfing of crit, the rise, slower rise of tanks, which is muting assassins quite a bit. You're not seeing, like, obviously the Talon's going off in this game with assassins. Like, assassins are still viable. It's just not like every team, every game has 2 or 3 assassins. And they're looking to slow it down even more next patch by their changes to plates, to where just ranged champions just are never going to be able to take plates if that goes through. Wukong can cast R twice. I don't know. I'll have to read it. It's a ton of changes.
I don't apologize for it. I feel good.
We don't know where anybody
An
is.
enemy has been slain.
They even have a mid laner? Okay, yeah, there he is.
An enemy has been slain.
Zaya says someone has to die, they die.
Killing spree.
Okay, Jarvan's top, so I don't even really need to ward right now. I need to go get some deeper wards, but I'm just going to call him off and use this opportunity to get some wards. Once we push in, I guess maybe we can... Need to get Talon, more vision. Dang it, I didn't get the E. How did I not E him?
Never seen moves like this.
Alright, I'll let him get the solo gold off of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am
Well, I may have actually gotten a little bit. I don't know.
But you too!
I mean, maybe I should go Mobies here just because the map is so open and we're crushing them so hard. I think I actually will go Mobies.
Time to get it started!
Might regret that if we throw a couple of times, but... Hey, King Styx loves Brand Jungle. I don't know. They're just trying to give jungle more carry potential just to appease Well, I would say the low elo people, but there's lots of high elo people complaining about jungle too, not being able to carry as much, so
Rampage.
I don't know.
Legendary.
They're just throwing some stuff in there.
Double kill.
Just to, I mean, why not? Just to give people some carry. Because, you know, you can't win games. We all know it's impossible to win games of League of Legends unless you do 70,000 damage and get 20 kills. So they're just kind of pandering to people that don't understand, like, how the game goes, but, like, I mean, that's most people, though, you know? Even, like, a lot of high-level people that, you know, run channels or even like, challengers and things like that, they think you can't carry unless you do a lot of damage. So, I mean, it's fine. Just let the hoi polloi have their stuff, have their carry potential.
They're scared of dark. They're scared of magic. They are scared of where I'm from.
Okay. Wait. Oh, they surrendered. Okay. I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, it's just, the thing is, it's just like the stuff that's right in front of your face. And most people don't believe in something unless, you know, they see it and it's like blatantly obvious. No, because no one's going to say that a Janna carried the game who goes like 2-0-35 and has like really strong vision control and, you know, shot calls, sets up plays, you know, peels the really important carry and all that stuff. They're going to see, you know, the 10-10 Twitch that did 70,000 damage, and they're going to say, oh god, the Twitch like hard carried that. It's like, well, sort of, but Janna like was a really integral part of that. I mean, Janna's probably the sneakiest one because most of the stuff she does doesn't show up on stat sheets, the peeling and all of that. Soraka at least shows up on stat sheets for people. They say, oh, okay, she healed 70,000 healing. I can process that. It's a stat, so we can think that she's too strong, so we're going to nerf her. But yeah, it's just like one of those things. It's like super obvious, like why you won the game. You know, like with the Talon there, he's 13-3. He's going around murdering everybody, so it's like super obvious, right? But there might be some other games where, you know, the support of the jungler does really nice things, or like the Sejuani jungle like hard carries, and she goes like 3, you know, 3-1-15. But she just CC'd all of these targets, and you just couldn't do anything. You couldn't get to the carries. You know, she secured all the objectives and things like that. But yeah, I mean, so it's not that you can't win with, like, high damage champs and things like that. Like, that definitely can be a way to carry. That's just not, like, the only way to carry. It's just the most quantifiable one. But no, you are, I mean, you're right. Like, some of those champions are still, you know, having a good effect. To some extent. But if you look, like, a lot of those champs that they try to buff in the jungle really are not doing that well, right? So if we look here, you know, Darius is at 41%, Talon's at 38%. I mean, I was wrong about Gnar. I thought Gnar had potential, but, you know, wrong about that one. But, you know, I try to make some bold predictions every now and then. I don't always try to go with the safe pick for what's going to be really strong. So I did get the Gnar one wrong. Or maybe people just aren't playing him the way that I was envisioning. Maybe they're still trying to play him tank and they're not going for the attack speed Gnar. Maybe attack speed Gnar is bad. I don't know. But then, you know, Garen's 44%. So a lot of these champs they're trying to make into like carry junglers aren't really working out that well. Like, it's a better, Garen has a better win rate in the jungle now than he did. I think he was at like 38% before those changes, but, you know, you're still better off playing something like, you know, Nunu to carry out of the jungle, or Warwick, or definitely Master Yi. Rammus actually got like 3% off of that attack speed buff, which I didn't think was going to be a huge deal, but it was that combined with the Cinder Hulk stuff that made him pretty well. Like, Zac is a great example of a tank right now that has very high impact, that doesn't get a lot of kills, that is extremely effective. But anyway, so yeah, they did buff them up, but a lot of that's just trying to get people hyped. I mean, like, the main reason they're doing that is because people have been complaining all season that you can't carry out of the jungle. This jungle's this really weak role. And, like, Riot's development team knows, they're like, but it's not. Like, it's one of the top 2 most influential roles. It's, like, middle and jungle. And a lot of, like, especially non-jungle mains and Challenger and Pro will say that it's, like, mid and jungle. So Riot's thinking, we can't really buff jungle that much. Like, we did a sprinkle of extra experience, you know, in the jungle a couple of patches ago, but we just can't do that much more because jungle's already, like, really strong. So what do they want to do? Just basically a placebo buff. They buff some of these hard carry junglers so that, you know, the middle and low elo players will think, oh man, like, now I can finally carry. I don't have to play this stupid, you know, Nunu to carry. Now I can play Darius and kill everyone out of the jungle. I can carry my idiot teammates, you know, like. So it's really just trying to get people to feel good about it, like they're trying to give some buffs to the jungle, when they're not really, like, buffing the real jungle because they can't, because it's too strong, and people just don't know how to play it correctly at, like, mid to lower elos, I think, a lot of times. So, because jungle is the hardest thinking role. Like, you really have to understand the game on a deeper level than other roles. It's just very weird. And it's all about efficiency. You have to have efficient pathing, efficient ganking. Just everything has to be really efficient. Versus the lane is more mechanical, but you're always going to get your wave. Every 30 seconds, the wave's coming in, you know? And so it's just about trading with the enemy. Like, it's just a lot easier to understand what you're supposed to do. You get more CS, you trade with the enemy, you kill them, or you get them to leave the lane, you win lane. Right? But, like, the jungle, it's like, there's always, like, an extra step you could have taken to be more efficient, or, like, you could have managed your cooldowns a little bit better, or you could have had better gank pathing, you could have read the situation better, you know. Like, there's just all kinds of extra stuff you could be doing. And there's probably tons of things I don't even, like, understand because I'm not a jungle main, you know. It's, like, it's the hardest role to understand, for sure. It's like the 200 IQ role. But anyway, so that's why they're buffing these, like, carry champions. Let me go. I'm going to swing by the restaurant. I'm just going to run one ad real quick. I might refill my drink here in a minute, but I'll go ahead and get us in queue. I don't know if I'm going to make it back in time, but we'll see. Okay, so some of you might see an ad. I'll be back 1 second. See if I can sneak out without Sadie thinking that she's going to get some food. What are the odds? What are the Vegas odds? She's looking at me right now. What are we thinking? Is she going to get up or not? Is she going to follow me? What do you think? Is she going to want food? She's licking her lips. She is standing up. I'm going to have to decline it. I have to go to the bathroom. Then it explodes. Alright, but I'll put us, well, I don't want to get knocked out of queue. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Alright, alright. Alright, what do we go to here? 38. It looks like the grandma cat she is. That's right. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, just send the donation my way. I can do it right after this game. It depends, Craig, on what the what the situation is. If they have a lot of magic damage, or if they have a lot of burst, ideally both, then you would probably get Locket. If they have a lot of AD, Knight's Vow. So I'm married to the toilet. It's just, yeah, it's elaborate special effects anytime my wife comes on stream or says anything. You don't see them that often because I usually stream when they are asleep. When I used to stream at like 9 or 9:30, then they would come on occasionally in our Ohio house.
Draven out.
I don't know. I just wanted Cassin to be banned. I should have a better backup plan. I don't know if Aphelios needs to be banned right now, honestly. Like, he is really good, but at this elo, I feel like people just maybe don't play him well enough. I'm not sure. Oh, a woman in front of the toilet. Ornn, Olaf, Chase. What's this guy gonna? Okay, so the ADC is autofilled. Dude, are you? Please don't recall him. I'm probably gonna have to. Oh my god, why though? I really thought about playing something like Lulu if there was a chance he could, if he was going to be proficient on, like Kog'Maw or something, but he's auto-filled and mid lane auto-filled himself. Like, Kiana wasn't banned.
Here is extra just to say I carried them fools this game.
Nice, Sammy. All right. Appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, the Olaf and Ornn can carry. Kaisa does scale. Definitely want to go with the AD here. Hey, thanks, Giannis. I appreciate it. Who's all AD? Us? Yeah. I mean, Kaisa, yeah, it's mostly AD. They don't have a tank outside of Thresh, though. Ornn does magic, somewhat, but... Is that normal to take Grasp on Ornn? It probably is. I mean, it's not full. Like, Olaf has true damage. Ornn does mostly magic damage. Well, this guy's picking Kaisa just because he never plays AD. I don't know. But yeah, so it's not great, but honestly, I mean, they don't have a real tank outside of Thresh, who you shouldn't be focusing anyways most of the time, so it's probably not going to matter like that much. The Wukong pick is just trash, I think. I mean, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he thinks the rework is already here. That's the only thing I can think about, is he thinks the rework is here, or he just wants to practice the champion before the rework, which doesn't really make any sense because it's a rework. So.
Improve your skills, then find me again. Improve your skills, then find me again. Improve your skills, then find me again.
Well, the guy doesn't play support either. It's 160 next patch.
I'm here.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're going to be way, way harder to take. Like, ranged champions just aren't going to do any damage. It's like 10 extra armor per plate that's missing, and is 20% reduction for all ranged champions on plates, which is basically the equivalent of 40 armor. So it's like they have 50 extra armor early on. I mean, it's just going to be like pretty much impossible to take those plates. So yeah, they are worth more, but maybe. That is true. That is a true observation. You might have more Smurfs on your team. Wait, why did that not trigger? I don't know. So yeah, that's probably true to some extent. Crash is not auto-attacking the wave. Okay. At least really could be anywhere. I should have, okay. It's gonna be a, let's say, it's gonna be a massacre. We're gonna get bodied so hard by this solution, potentially. Thank God the Thresh seems to be relatively passive. Well, never mind. He's likely dead. Okay, she got out, had to blow all of her Psalms. They have, no, they don't have a freeze. It's slow pushing towards us. Come on, dude, he's gonna throw it down here, but I think we got it. Yeah.
An enemy has been slain.
Okay, nice.
This looks like another dangerous
Ally
situation.
has been slain.
Okay, not so nice.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain.
For humans,
What the
magic
hell
is like
is happening?
for us.
An enemy has been slain.
Auto? First rift spawns at 8 minutes or 10 minutes, I believe.
Burn 'em up.
And then I think there's a 5-minute in between. There's no way to get more than 2 rifts. So I'm not sure. I think it's 10-minute spawn and then 5-minute respawn. So there's no way you can get 3 rifts. I'm not gonna be able to get over there. We need to push harder. Oh my god. Wait, where did she go? Okay. Okay. Nice. All right. Well, it was looking pretty wild there for a little bit, dude. Please respect him. He can do a lot of damage early. Okay. Yeah, we can do this. Probably. I mean, they see this, but... We do it pretty quickly, and at least it's dead, so... Diana's not moving.
They ain't ready for what I'm bringing.
Someone said the other day, I think it was Amir, that it was a lot harder to climb this season. And I did look up some stuff. I don't have exact numbers on that, but I said that that doesn't make any sense. However, I think for Smurfs, it is probably harder than in the past, but that's not normal people. Like people, several high elo streamers have been complaining that they don't skip divisions as fast, or that they get placed lower into bronze, and they don't skip divisions as much. So that might be true, but that doesn't affect the vast majority of people. And, you know, the person that who, like, had a tweet about this said something, no, dude, it's bad timing. We're not going to get that much, man. It's terrible. Like, yeah, we got... Yeah, that was really, really bad, Kaisa. That was straight stupid. You got 120 gold for what? Now they're really far ahead, and you're going to have a bad back timing. So think about it this way. Now we don't get to back, so we're probably going to get pressured. Oh, Jesus. So we just handed them a freeze, probably, and we're going to get frozen out of an entire wave, which is probably like 150 gold, and we lose all the experience. Fortunately, they didn't really, like, pressure us that hard, and they're not freezing. Okay. We could have been punished, like, ultra hard off of that.
I look around these forests and I see freedom.
Unless she needed that for a very specific breakpoint, which she didn't, because she just got a dagger. She just greeted for it. She should have at least gotten boots instead of a dagger. No, they did basically get a freeze. So we pretty much lost a whole wave of experience, and now they're both level 6 when we're not. Or I guess Lucian is. Thresh is probably still level 5 in that bush. But yeah, I mean, back timings are very, very important. Sometimes even losing a little bit, because you're going to lose CS either way, and plates either way. So, like, if she needed that to get a VF sword or something like that, then, you know, maybe, but... Most of the time, if the enemy backs, you get one push, and then you back. That's it. Unless you're doing something, like, trying to bush bait them, or you have, like, a very specific agenda. That's what you need to be doing. Not just, I needed a few extra gold for a dagger, you know? Now, let me ward, let me ward.
The universe loves me. Mankind is blind. I want you to see.
Could have hit that plant, but whatever. She really didn't need to follow me up there. What the hell's wrong with people? Like... I should have pinged her back, I guess. Like, she didn't need to go up there. All she had to do is back up in the lane. Like, we had a wave crashing into them. Just literally back up. And just give me a second to ward, that's it. Either way, like, it really doesn't matter that much. Like, if you're playing better than other people, you're gonna climb.
Trust me, you're better off.
They
An
think they can
enemy
get
has been slain. An ally has been slain.
I'm gonna have to... This thing's gonna push too fast. I have to try to hold as much of this as I can here.
An enemy has been slain.
I'm not gonna be able to hold the melee, probably. Sheesh. Dude. Well, I guess Dragon's up, so we can push and go for Drag. Well, we don't... Where's our jungler's top side? No, 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 no. This person is so tilted. Like, we should have just left it frozen outside of our tower until Olaf came down here, and then I could have engaged and killed him.
I'm gonna live forever.
Like, when we pushed up like that really fast, like, the correct play is just back up and let me go get vision. Why? What? How does that even happen? What just... What happened? What is going on? We need to stop doing whatever we're doing. Absolute disaster. We've given them like 10 kills in a row straight.
They've never seen moves like mine.
Like, why wasn't Kaisa there? I mean, I shouldn't have gotten hooked. But, like, Kaisa should have been there.
They will see
If Kaisa was there right at the start of
my
that, I think we could have won that. I don't know.
An enemy has
I mean-
been slain.
She is, like, auto-filled as ADC. We just gotta stop feeding and just let the other roles carry. Like,
Turret
we're just doing a
plating
whole bunch
will
of really
soon
dumb
fall.
stuff.
They're gonna try and test me? Let's see what these animals can do.
She's dead again, probably. Please, can you just dodge a hook for once?
Your team has destroyed a
Look
turret.
right. Moves right. Time to show
Like,
it.
you cannot push if your support's not in the lane. Like, even if what I'm doing is incorrect, which I don't think it is, I'm trying to give more protection to the Wukong who can actually carry, maybe. Like, you can't be there.
I need my love to hurt. Scary.
Like, you just have to back up and go, like, farm the Gromp or something.
I feel good.
You can't just mindlessly push into their tower over and over and over again when your support's not there, especially when you're really far behind. I think she's just really tilted.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I mean, at this point, I'm just too far behind to go Shirelius. Like, I should be going Shirelius to play around the Olaf, probably, but... I don't know why she backed right there, but... For a recurve bow. Like, I don't know, like, her timings are all off, too. She was at full health. Unbelievable. How does she literally not kill a single person? Rakan, why did you leave with 10 HP?
Your turret has been destroyed.
Like, how do you actually not ult? Like, literally, it's just ult and press Q. And just auto attack. I actually don't understand how it's even, like, possible to mess that up.
Man,
Like, she pinged it, right? Like, it's not like she didn't even know it was coming. She literally pinged me to go. She hit him with a W. Like, I engaged, ignited, double shielded her, auto attacked a couple of times. They focused me, they didn't even focus her. Like, did she just, like, lag out or something? She was auto attacking, right? Well, it should. Her ult has a really long range, and it should not have been out of range. Like, she pinged me to go. Isn't her ult range like 1500 or something? I've seen her ult in from like off the screen before. Like, it's a really long ult range.
ha, I'm G to the D.
She doesn't have to hit him with plasma. If you hit him with CC, it puts plasma on him. And she did actually hit him with the plasma off of her own W. Like, she hit him with her own W, hit the Lucian with her own W, and then I also applied CC to both of them. So I gave both of them 2 stacks of plasma. Like, she pretty much started with 4 stacks of plasma on the Lucian immediately. Wait, how? What's going on? How do we lose that?
Enemy double kill. Killing spree.
What? Like, actually, literally, how did we lose that? I CC'd all 3 of their carries. Thresh is at 20%? What?
I don't do safe.
Okay. I actually don't I'm not being sarcastic at all. I have no clue how we actually lost that fight. I mean, I guess maybe we ended up technically winning it, but how was it not a massacre? But who wasn't CC'd by me? Like, it was literally just Thresh. Like, Like, it was actually, like, Jace came in late. I think he teleported to bot lane. Okay, I guess we won it. I just feel like it should have been a lot cleaner.
Zaya told me to improvise. At least, that's the only part of the plan I remember. Damn, because I'm free.
Big black void. That's true, yeah. Nothing has any meaning. Why care? It's comforting. I don't know. Maybe Kaisa didn't have her ult. Like, Wukong has Ghost Blade plus his W, right? I mean, I'm not hallucinating. He has a Ghost Blade, right? Maybe it wasn't off cooldown from when he left. It's a 45-second cooldown.
I do not wish to kill the mortal. I want them to hear the music.
It's just like there weren't other targets. It was Thresh. Was it like 20% HP? I got all 3 of the targets. That should have been the main, like, Wukong should have been able to W in.
All they got.
I don't know. I'll have to look at that one again. Like, I understand Kaisa's auto-filled, she's tilted, she's making mistakes, but I don't understand why Wukong didn't go in on that, or Olaf. I mean, Olaf does have to actually physically run there, so I see why Olaf couldn't be there immediately, but like, if Wukong actually followed up with that, he's got Moby Boots too. Like, if he chained that knock-up with my knock-up, I think we would have cleaned it up. Yeah, he did. I mean, it's a 45-second cooldown. He still has Moby Boots. And presumably had Flash. I don't know, the W itself, like, should have been enough with Moby Boots to get him in there. But I'm just trying to figure out if it was, like, bad of me to do that. I mean, I could have just picked the Rakan with my W and just taken a clean 1-0, but I thought we could just go for the Grand Slam there. Maybe it was overreaching. I didn't think it was asking too much. I thought we were all looking to engage, especially with Wukong. But maybe it was too ambitious.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to entertain myself.
Well, now they're back in the game, so I wish I had Merc Treads here. Probably. What the? Okay. Whatever. We'll probably... we can hopefully win. Can we do Baron? Push this in and Baron.
They're scared of darkness. They're scared of magic. They are scared.
Kaisa, come here. We need Kaisa. But no, man, I want the tier 2 instead of the Baron. I don't know if we have enough damage without Kaisa. Maybe with Olaf. I mean, maybe we can get... If we get those 2 towers, she's not getting the base tower. But if we get the tower plus the tier 2, I guess it's worth. It's a lot riskier. We're gonna be late to Dragon, potentially. No. Just leave. Now we're gonna be really late for Dragon.
Humans claim fence us away, covering red dot.
Yeah, that delayed. I mean, we could have had that Baron clean, and I could have been down there setting up for Dragon. You know, a minute earlier.
I'm getting impatient.
So we're gonna lose our tier 1 top, and we're gonna lose a Dragon because Kaisa wanted to grab the tier 2 instead of take Baron faster. It's pretty much what's gonna happen there. And that's just what happens when you have gone awful macro.
My lady's gonna heal.
Like, that was important, too, because if we got that one, the next one would have been Soul. But now, like, getting Soul is probably not on the table this game.
Danger is as fun as you say it.
He's gonna get 2 towers. Yeah. So they basically got a tier 1, a tier 2, and an Infernal off of Kaisa not coming to Baron with us. No, dude. It's like 1v4.
Long ago, our kind was on the
Wait, dude.
lanes.
We don't have people, man. This is gonna be a 3v5. Kaisa's just rage splitting, I think. She's just really mad. Doesn't understand like what's going on.
I'm so fine.
They don't match her though. I guess it can work. To be fair, she's not worth a lot of gold, but we kind of need her to win this fight. We can probably win 4v5, but... Ooh, I don't know if that was necessary, man. Let Thresh commit. Why are we doing this without a wave? I guess we're so far ahead, it doesn't matter. Alright, Isa came down here. We're able to fight. We'll probably win. Okay. They finally rotated someone over there, and then she got the counter rotation on him. Rotating through the jungle is kind of risky, but we saw most of them except for Elise there. We just had much better scaling picks, fortunately, and we had a really big gold lead for a while there, so we were able to sustain like 4 throws in a row. I mean, like, Jace is just so bad in solo queue most of the time. Like, he just almost literally does nothing outside of the laning phase. Like, he even beat the Ornn pretty hard in lane. I think Ornn was 0-3. But Ornn stayed close in CS, and he's just, like, infinitely more useful later on in the game. And then the Elise kind of started falling off. So, I mean, that was pretty much it. And then Wukong did get a couple of kills there. I mean, we won just because we have better champs and we had a lot more gold. We just beat them with a big stick. Instead of through, like, intelligent, like, decision-making. I don't know. Let me see that one play. I mean, it's totally possible I'm wrong about that, and I should have just taken the safe play. There's the Baron. Does Ornn have his TP? Ornn never TP'd in there too, but I think he was dead. I wasn't counting on the Ornn to TP though. It was just a bonus if that happened. Okay, Ornn's dead. 3 people are top. Olaf's getting top scuttle though, even though Dragon spawned. So we can't really counter with Dragon right away. We think about this, see Diana. Wukong wisely decides not to do it. Runs away. He does have to blow his Ghost Blade here. What's the time? 15? 6... So he blows his Ghost Blade at about 17, which means at 1902 it would be back for 45 seconds. He does not flash, though. I don't know if I tab here or not. I need a tab to see the status of his flash. Okay, Kaisa just has no clue. Does she actually complete this back with Dragon up, or does she come over? Okay, she does come over. She's like, oh yeah, Dragon's up. Okay. Wukong doesn't have his ult. Okay, Wukong doesn't have his ult for a little bit here. Okay, there's the Thresh. Kaisa has her ult. Kaisa and Wukong are standing right there. Wukong is literally right there. Okay, he gets at least webbed. His W is on cooldown. Okay, the Diana follows up. Yeah, I could have just W'd Thresh right here and we just kill him clean. Okay. Kaisa could have ulted on that, but we already know the situation with Kaisa this game. There's no use in beating a dead horse. Olaf's out of range. I did pull when I E'd back in, Diana was already like en route to get me with her E, so that kind of pulled him back onto my team, which wasn't good. Okay, they tried. Most people tried. Wukong just got webbed, and he didn't have his ult. I should have looked to see that he didn't have his ult. It was like 5 or 10 seconds out. So he tried. He did the best he could. And he got webbed. So he got webbed. And he didn't have his ult. Olaf was too far out, and Kaisa was, you know, that Kaisa that game. So that okay. So I think it was, I don't know. Without Wukong having his ult, I probably should have just got the Thresh. I just honestly didn't notice he didn't have his ult, so I should have been paying closer attention to that. Okay, let's do this coaching session from Sammy here really quick, and then we'll get back in. And do some more games. I think that Wukong probably could have killed him anyways, several of them, if he didn't get webbed, but it was a bit riskier without Wukong's ult. I mean, I could have just W'd, killed the Thresh for free, basically, and just waited on Wukong's ult. We start the dragon. They would have still congregated around there and hung out. And then I could have just ulted when my W was off cooldown again in probably like 8 seconds with the Wukong ult. When Olaf is like more in range, and it probably could have been a better play. Yeah, we did get the W. I was just trying to see, you know, you always want to go back and, if you're not sure about something, just kind of look at it again and see what you could have done, if it was the right decision, especially if you're playing an engaged champ, because there's so many variables like that go into deciding whether or not something's a good engage. So, I think it wasn't like terrible. Like I said, if the Wukong didn't get webbed, but without him having ult, it wasn't going to be like a grand slam. So it's better just to take the single there, just to get the Thresh and just reset. Oh. Okay, hold on. Nat had a question that was, which enchanter supports? I mean, all it's just very situational. I think historically the best enchanters that have the highest win rates are usually Janna and Lulu, Janna specifically. Then I think Lulu is very good in a meta that you get a lot of like Blade of the Ruined King and Gensu users into the meta. So if we start seeing more Vayne, Kog'Maw, Twitch, Varus, those types of things. If people start moving away from attack speed or crit champions and more towards attack speed champions, probably pretty good with Lulu also. Or with Kalista, rather. Maybe. I could see her being really good with Kalista, because the extra attack speed you get off the W allows you to jump around more and stick more spears. So that could potentially be pretty good, but that's going to be strong. And then Janna's like, if you're in a tank meta where crit users are going to be a bit stronger, so things like Jinx, who else? I mean, Twitch kind of falls into that category too. So if you need to peel more, if you need more defense, Janna's going to be stronger. If you want more offense, Lulu's going to be stronger. See you, Tom Flory. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Go ahead and get in here. Oh, let me fix my setup over here. Okay, always will. Sammy, I always try to give it to you straight. Hello, everybody, welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor. Today we're going to be coaching a Recon game, so special thanks to Sammy for sponsoring this.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
I see you're duoed with your cousin again, too. Cool. This is patch 10.4. If you'd like a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Or stop by the stream. We stream every night starting around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'd love to have you. Very friendly, very chill community. You can ask me about coaching then if you want. Or if you just want to come in, hang out, chat with us. I try to explain as much as I can about the decisions that I'm making in the game. And then I also just try to hold a conversation with people in chat as much as I can. Both about League, you know, or about whatever random topics people want to talk about on the channel. So come on by, check it out. It's a great community. And then every patch I do new tier list, patch notes analysis, things like that. If you want to watch more coaching sessions, I'll have a playlist linked in the description. And I'll also have topical guides like how to macro better, how to micro better, vision control, and then some individual champion guides as well. So be sure to check all that out. Okay. Which secondaries did you take? I believe this is either silver or gold, Oscar. Sammy can probably clarify a little bit more for us. Yeah, y'all should be trying to step up and punish that main. As soon as you get these minions, you should hit 2. That was a little unusual because you're... Oh, okay. I see. I'm gonna stop as the mid laner. Because your 80 carry killed the ranged minions first, which is a little weird. To know when you're gonna hit level 2. Yeah, it would have been nice to go for the level 2. Now, it is somewhat tricky to get Vayne with her tumble. You kind of have to wait until she tumbles. So if she ever tumbles to go for a CS, that's when you go in with your W. Okay, good. Okay, nice. Well, you'll get back there, Sammy. You had a pretty decent break from the game too, didn't you? Like over winter, you didn't play that much, if I'm remembering that correctly. I might be wrong about that, but let me replay that real quick. Okay. Good shield. Great. Okay, yeah, she just didn't react. Okay, nice. She was, I mean, that is a good time to try to get people with skill shots too, is when they're focused on something else. You can be like the magician and sneak stuff in on him. So he was focused on the Jin getting stunned, and he just like tunnel vision on wanting to go capitalize on that stun, and that set up a great opportunity for you to W. With a lot of champs, whenever they hit your ADC with some kind of CC at many ELO brackets, you can just CC the enemy ADC pretty easily, because a lot of them are going to tunnel in on what just happened. That was good. Wait, where's the little runes tab? Someone's telling me there's like a little runes tab. First ranked game in 2 months, yeah, so that's, you know, it's understandable now. I think you said you were bronze, and I'm pretty sure you got to gold last season, so it just takes a little while to get back in the swing of things. That was a good play. I think the flash was worth. I don't think he was gonna kill I don't think he was gonna kill Pyke without the flash. And I think that flash for a kill early on in most situations is definitely gonna be worth it. Okay. How's mid lane doing? These are all mixed up. I was thinking about if you should get Mobies here instead of Glacial, but it's kind of hard to gank a LeBlanc, so maybe Glacial's fine. Mobies ultimately allow you to have better vision control because you can go like ward further faster and get back without losing a lot of XP or risking your ADC getting caught out. It like lowers the chance of your ADC getting caught or you getting caught. No, but I mean, as Rakan, like, he's one of the safest, like, no flash champs. You know, if LeBlanc comes, you still have your W, you still have your E. Like, it's totally worth it. Yeah. Nice. Great, yeah. Alright. Nice. Styling on him. Probably didn't have her shield back by that point. Okay. Dragon, back. Probably get Mobies on this back. It's kind of a waste of time to try to gank her, I think. No, I would definitely have backed right there. You have too much money. Okay. Yeah, you really lost your opportunity to back there. You have like 1,500 gold. You definitely, like after Dragon, I would have just immediately backed. If it was a different, if it was a different mid laner that you could exploit, like maybe it was a Diana or something that doesn't like have as strong of an escape, then maybe going like just trying middle, see what you get, see if you can get her flash and then back. But I think coming back bottom is really like risky. I mean, you're gonna. It looks like you're doing pretty well here, but. I would have taken that back, though. Yeah. Okay, good. You got the cannon there. Nice. I would back right here. I mean, you just have way too much gold. You back. Plates really aren't worth. I mean, maybe for a Warwick dive, but Gen's really low. Like, y'all just need a back. It's just wasting a lot of time. You're getting baited into a really bad back timing. I mean, that's one of the resources that is kind of underestimated a lot. You want to wait till he commits to the alpha before you W. You should have just run. Okay. Okay, y'all, you desperately need a back. You probably have like 2,500 gold, 22. This might be warded. He might hook you over that wall. No, don't get baited into this. You need to. These are like really low probability plays that are wasting a lot of your time. See, now you're gonna get trapped again here. I'd go for Monk, Duck. Everybody knows monks are OP. Yeah, you really, really, really need to back, man. You needed to back like 5 minutes ago. Like, if you had a Zeke's in that previous fight, your ability to give the Gen a ton of extra damage and to slow the Vayne, the E, and the Pike, like, you could have potentially had 2 extra kills if you had the Zeke's on the previous gang. And you couldn't cash in and get your wards there either. Like, you haven't had wards for, like, as many wards as you could have for quite a while.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Yeah, how much do you still have left? Okay. I would have probably gotten 2 fairy charms there. Okay. So, like, yeah, you get kills in like some of the individual plays, like, it's good. But the backing is a very big deal. Like, back timing is a hugely important skill that's very underestimated, not really discussed a lot. Yeah, it's all good, man. I mean, that's why you get the coaching sessions. You learn some stuff. It's fine. I mean, I have some bad back timing too. Yeah, just run. That was one of those where he's dead. Yeah, I would have just left him. As soon as Yi shows up to that, I would have just bounced. Because he's getting huge right now. He's probably... Yeah, he's got enough, I think, to get Blade. Yeah, there it is. And that's big trouble. Yeah, so here, I would probably go for Shirelia's. Yeah, but most people aren't going to have that perfect to CS Alistair. Is it really that much gold? I have a hard time believing you can get 1300 CS by the first cannon, or 1300 gold by the first cannon wave without any kills or assists. I don't think that's accurate. I'd have to do the math with like no other like gold generation. Like each wave is around like 120 gold. And the first cannon, I don't remember exactly when the first cannon is. I think it's like the 4th wave or something. Trying to like talk to Alistair. Get the kill. He's low. Oh, you got hooked. Okay, I was about to say I wouldn't go in on that, but yeah, you got hooked. I would get out of there quick. Like I think going for that first kill is fine, but you got to get out of there like after the first kill. I mean, a lot of people didn't finish the tower either. Like, I would have maybe just RW and then E back out, like, pretty quickly. I don't know exactly what you're talking about, Alistair, but I don't think there's any way you can get a BF sword that early in the game. Even with perfect CS. Unless you got like a triple kill or something. 63 plus 52 is the perfect amount without a cannon. That's 115 gold, I believe, is like absolutely perfect CS on a wave without a cannon. So, and a BF sword is 1300 gold. So that'd be 10 waves, not including a cannon. That's 5 minutes into the game. And the first minion wave doesn't even arrive until 2 minutes. Or until like a minute 30-ish, minute 45-ish. I don't know the exact timing on it, but you know, you're looking at like 7 minutes or something like that without a cannon. And then the first cannon is going to give you an extra like 70 gold or something. So it's like, I know the first cannon comes in before like 6 or 7 minutes into the game. I think it's the 4th wave. It's not accurate. Okay. Like if you're really kicking a lot of ass, you know, in the lane, you might be able to get a BF sword without any kills or assists by like 7 minutes. With like reasonable CS. Yeah, I think that's probably a little far. I mean, y'all didn't know that E was there. I don't know. Let me look at this one more time. Sorry, I keep rewinding because I'm trying to discuss this random stuff in the chat. Okay, yeah, he just kind of showed up. Okay, so he just kind of caught you off guard being in that bush. I guess that's fine. Well, I guess he got shut down, but this is a big problem. Okay, so you're going Knight's Vow next. I guess that's fine. Is Teemo even in the game? Did he AFK? Oh yeah, there he is. Okay. Let's say he's getting murdered top lane. I mean, I can do the math for you guys after this. I mean, I just did it. It's what? It's 115 per wave. 115 per wave. 2 waves per minute. HP, 230, one cannon. We'll just call it 70 for easy math. It's 300 a minute. But the cannon doesn't come out for at least a couple of waves.
Slain the dragon.
So you're looking at least 4 minutes. Minions don't hit until around like 2 minutes. You can start killing your first minions. So that's 6 minutes. With like absolutely perfect CS at 6 minutes. So if you have, what would absolutely perfect CS be at 6? It'd be like 4 minutes of CS. You can get 13 per minute. That'd be like 6 minutes into the game. I don't know if it's 65 minutes or 65 CS at 6 or if it's 52 at 5. But either way, it's like an ungodly amount, like absolutely perfect CS to get that with no kills or assists at 6 minutes. I think 7 is probably a lot more reasonable. If you're on track to get like 70 or 80 CS per minute, I think you would get it at like 7. Potentially. Let me see this last fight here. Oh, you're trying to, Alistair, you're trying to say that someone should just back on a cannon wave? Yeah. Is that what you've been arguing the whole time? Yeah, Vayne's missing, yeah, so just go in on this. Sorry I keep rewinding, I'm trying to talk to all the people on stream as well. Okay, yeah, shields. Nice, perfect. This is why I love Rakan into Yi. I would say like how you want to handle Yi, ideally, is you shield onto who he's alpha striking, and then you wait for him to, like, once his alpha strike's done, then you W. You never try to W him before he alphas. Because like a smart Yi will wait for that, and then he'll alpha your W. Like he'll dodge it. No, support's not gonna have the same gold to be able to buy a DS fight at that time, I don't think. Depends on how perfectly they're farming, I guess. Without kills or assists. I mean, I could do the math for that, but... Oh, let's see. So when you say, okay, so you don't mean the literal first cannon wave. I mean, if you miss 2 or 3 CS, you're trying to say it could delay your timing on BF by a wave. That's what you're saying. Back up and see what you do.
Shut down.
Okay. It was alright. He did shut down the Yi. I think that was a little bit ambitious. Did you get hooked or something? No, like there's no reason to be walking around in here right now. Oh, you just missed your W over the wall. Yeah, I would have, I would have probably just not even been around there in the jungle if you know that Pike and company are like roaming around. mean, it depends, Alistair. Like, I think like CS, people have a lot worse CS than I think a lot of people think. Like, kind of armchair analysts are just like, oh yeah, you know, in gold, everyone should have 80 CS at 10 minutes. It's like, even in Challenger, I would venture to guess most Challengers do not get 80 CS at 10 minutes in a solo queue environment. It can happen. Especially for an AD carry. Because there's a lot of action bot lane, and there's a lot of things that can stop you from CSing. If your support's not showing enough presence, you can get zoned, you can get camped by the jungler. Yeah, I mean, you did miss your W over the wall, but I think just in general, I just, like, there's no really, like, a reason to be lurking around there, you know? Like, you already had a ward. They aren't threatening Baron. You had vision on Baron. There's just no reason to be walking around there, you know what I mean? Well, you shouldn't take a CS. I mean, it depends on, you know, the context of why you're taking CS, but... Try to start with an E first onto somebody who's getting attacked, so that you get a guaranteed charge there, and then kind of wait and see what happens with everything else. Like, you're not gonna, a lot of these champs they have on their team, you're not gonna get them with just a straight, like, run at them and W, because they're gonna be expecting that. Like, Vayne's gonna dodge away, she could condemn you, Pike can dodge with his E. Like, you gotta mix it up a little bit. You gotta, usually, you want to ult and then E onto somebody if you can, just to get that initial charm, and then it kind of throws people's game off a little bit. They're not looking for your W as much. And then you wait on, like, Vayne to tumble, and then after she uses her Q, then you W onto her. You take CS, someone in chat asked, you take CS when you're alone in lane? It depends on the context. If you need to push the wave to stop them from freezing, then yes. Or your team's about to go, like, do some sort of priority objective, like you're trying to get pressure to go do Dragon or something, yes. But the problem is, if you take CS when they're not there, you could really screw up the lane. So if they're not there, and, like, your AD carry's walking the lane, for example, and you push one wave while they're on their way there, but it doesn't go all the way into the tower, then the enemy could get a freeze outside of their tower, and that could just completely destroy the whole lane. I mean, like, in most elo brackets, it's not going to, like, end the game if you do that, but it's certainly not going to be a great position for your AD carry. Because when you push like that, the enemy is getting an experience advantage, and their ADC is getting a gold advantage. Because they have access to more minions. Shield, 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 shield. Okay. Okay, you went for redemption. I would probably go for Shirelia's here, just for the rotations. Hey, thanks, Peter. I appreciate it. I would probably go for Shirelia's here, just because it doesn't look like the kind of game where there's going to be a lot of clean 5v5 fights where people are going to make good use of the redemption. Like, it seems like more of a, you're constantly running around trying to put out fires everywhere, and so having that extra movement speed can be a really big deal. Shield him, shield him, shield him, shield him, shield him. You gotta be looking for the shield there. A good catch. I mean, like, your main mission here in these fights is just you have to stop Master Yi. Like that, you gotta use, like, right there, you don't want to do that. Like, even if you catch LeBlanc there, it's probably not worth it because you just used your ult. And Master Yi's still around. You can still disrupt him with your W, but it's gonna be a lot harder. I know, yeah. Well, what I'm saying is you need to not go that far forward. Okay, you did get the knockup on him. Okay, y'all got him. Yeah, that previous fight though, you needed to position, like, stay closer to Jhin. Like, your main thing needs to be when you knock up Teemo, you land your Q immediately on him, and then you're looking to shield back on the Jhin. Land a couple of autos if you can, but you always need to try to be in position to shield back, because really, you're not doing that much damage with your autos at this point in the game, you know what I mean? Like, a little bit, but your main priority should just be keeping people alive and trying to disrupt. It seems super risky. I mean, y'all, like, it's working out, but he is dead. Nice, okay, you stopped him. Alright, y'all got him. Now y'all are healing up a good amount though. Yeah, I think y'all just gotta stop. Oh! Oh my god. The lead shot. Yeah, this is nowhere close. Y'all just gotta get off of that. The Baron is stacking up so much debuff on you right now, you need to stop. Like, Baron puts a debuff on your team the longer you fight it, where they take, like, an increasing amount of damage. So you take bonus damage. Okay, nice. Well, that was good, though. You're stuffing the Yi. Locket's probably a pretty good idea here, because if you're gonna stop Yi from immediately killing somebody,
Shut down.
then you can probably win. GA's 2.5 second revive. I'm pretty sure any stasis effect is 2.5 seconds. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they're all the same thing. Like Hourglass, GA. I'm not 100% about that. But I'm pretty sure that's standardized. Zillion ult. Okay, good catch. Got him. Alright. You gotta watch Baron too. I mean, you are watching Baron right now, but you have to be aware that Yi can actually solo Baron, but... I don't think Bardolt does. I think Bartolt's 2.5 seconds also, in all ranks. You're too far ahead of everybody. I mean, I guess you're baiting him. You should have shielded again. Like, after he finished the alpha, you needed to shield over to Jhin once the alpha was done. And I think that's too far ahead of your team. Like, he does so much damage. you know, he'll just delete you basically. Is Rakan good with Vayne? That's not an ideal situation, because that's going to be 2 weak laners. And she doesn't have anything to follow up on your engage, so... Like, you can make Rakan work with pretty much anything, so you can just roam around and just play for the mid game. But in general, that's one of his worst lane partners. Because they're both really weak, and she's inherently, like, very unsafe. So it's hard to roam, because she'll just die. Whereas, like, Ezreal's not a great lane partner either for Rakan, but at least Ezreal, in theory... At least Ezreal, in theory, can be safe while you go roam. Now, does that actually happen? No. Not a lot of times, but, like, at least on paper, he has a bit more synergy. Okay. It's a worthwhile try. I'm highly doubting GA is 4 seconds.
Travels fast.
There's a possibility it's 3 seconds, but I feel like it's 2.5. No, it's always been that way, Alistair. It's always been that way, man. the Bartle. Like, all stasis effects are 2.5 seconds. Yeah, I mean, Vayne's not, like, that great in most lanes. If you're looking for something with Vayne, something like Nami's pretty good, because then, like, Nami's pretty aggressive. You can almost 1v2 a lot of lanes with Nami, especially at lower elo brackets. She just has so much harass early on. So you can kind of keep the, apply enough pressure to where Vayne can farm. And then you scale, like, you're pretty good with Vayne later, because you have the E to slow people down, so you can chase them down. You've got to heal just in case you take a couple of bad trades in lane. The Nami's probably one of the better picks. Like, if it's a really good Vayne, Lulu can be really good. Lulu has more, like, scaling offense. So if you're against, like, a low damage team, if they have, like, 2 or 3 tanks on their team, you can do Lulu with Vayne. And that can work really well. Lulu's pretty good in the lane. She's not as lane dominant as Nami is, because she didn't have a heal, but... Okay, yeah, Kima. Okay. Shield. Okay, nice. Alright, now go match Yi. That was good. You switched over to Tabby. That's probably a good idea. Against me. Okay, nice. Shield, 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 shield. Okay, yeah, go get Baron. Well, that's a smart strategy, DM. Yeah, maybe they'll take Ezreal. That's clever. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. That could work. I'm highly doubting that GA is 4 seconds. Like I said, it could be 3, but I find it almost impossible to believe that it's 4. We can look after this game. I'm like 80% sure it's 2.5. Have a 5-minute cooldown, that's correct. Okay. Okay, this is for soul, yeah. Zone the Yi, zone the Yi, zone the Yi. Okay, shield, he's just gonna end. Alright, that works too. That's not 4 seconds. I mean, we can actually look literally right there and see. That was around 6. It's either 2.5 or 3 seconds. Any counters to Draven? Draven's one of the best in lane. It's difficult. If it's a really good Draven, it's going to be difficult to beat him in lane. Hold on, we'll look at this one more time.
What you missing?
But yeah, I mean, like Aphelios, Misfortune. It's like almost literally right when 6 hits there. I guess it could be kind of close to 4. Okay. Nah, I would not play Taunting. Unless you do it with someone who's extremely good. Like an ADC. But yeah, I mean, just like Aphelios, Misfortune, Senna. All of those are pretty good picks. Senna might be who I would think would be best, because she outranges him, she can bully him, she heals through trades. She can all in with her W. A lot easier to play than Aphelios. As far as support goes, it just depends on what your ADC is doing. I mean, Nami is lane dominant. She can help out a lot with Senna and some of these other champs. Or you can just like concede the lane, just play like Rakan or something like that. Just play for late game or play for Roam. You know, play Leona or Nautilus or whatever, and just say whatever. Good luck, ADC. I'm gonna go camp. Shield. Okay. All right. So great game overall. I think the biggest things to work on are just like prioritizing the shield first when you're in most engages. Is to just put that shield on there first. Helps you gap close, which is going to lower the time that it takes to get your W off. So the less that Rakan has to, the less distance he has to travel with his W, the faster you get the W off, right? Because he has to go all the way to the destination first, and then he does his animation to go up. So even if somebody is like, also just getting the shield on them early just means that they're not going to die potentially before you knock them up with the W. So I think a lot of the times, if it makes sense, start off your combinations with one W or with one E, a shield onto somebody important, and then look for W. It also, like I said, throws people off because once you start shielding, then they may not be looking for your W as much, whereas a lot of times, if you just run at them in W, like they're expecting that. And remember that your ult lasts for 4 seconds too. You don't have to like use your W immediately. You can R, shield onto someone if you want to, run around a little bit, and just wait on like the Vayne to use her Q, or wait on the Master Yi to use his Alpha Strike, and then W to get your knock up. And just look for those shields and just layer the shields, you know, shield, wait on that shield to wear off, and then shield again. There were several times, I think, where people died when you potentially had your shield available. So just prioritize, just think that like your initial shield is the most important thing to start with, and then you've got your W, and you've got more options, usually after you do that. And then use your W to get out too. Like, you don't want to stay in and try to auto attack a lot as Recon. I know you're a big fan of Leona, and when you're Leona or you're Nautilus, a lot of times, you know, you just kind of put your head down and just auto and just stay in the fight, and do as much as you can. Whereas with Recon, a lot of times you want to shield. You know, you ult, you shield in. That's another advantage of shield, is you can move immediately. Whereas when you ult with your W, you have to wait that half a second. But you can ult, shield in, look for a W, and then after you get the W, you can shield back out to someone else. You know, so usually a combo would be like ult, shield in with E, look for a W, land your W, hit the Q on the person while they're knocked up. So it's a guaranteed hit on the Q. Maybe auto attack them once, and then shield back out to someone else. So you want to try to get in and then get out, because, you know, like I said earlier, your auto attacks are really kind of worthless later on. Like, they don't add that much. It's a little bit, and when your ult's active, it reduces your auto attack range dramatically. So it's like 100 range or something. It's even lower than a lot of melee champs. So you really can't get that many autos off. But just somewhere near the end of your combo, you need to be trying to look to E back out to someone who's in a safe area, and then you just kind of wait on your cooldowns to come back up after that. Yeah, you did. You had a really good score line that game for sure. I'm just trying to give you tips on like what I saw, other than, you know, the good plays that you made, which you did have several really good plays. But that's the biggest thing, I think, is just prioritizing the shield, and then going for those W's. But other than that, yeah, it was really good. So I think that's one thing to work on. No, well, you don't have to wait on Aftershock. You shouldn't be running Aftershock most of the time on Recon to begin with, but then, to answer Alistair's question, but then you wouldn't have to wait. Like, your W, you would just act the exact same way that I just described. I mean, I guess if you're waiting for the damage, I guess you're talking about the damage portion of Aftershock to go off. You really don't want to be hanging out waiting. Like, that's partially why people don't run Aftershock on him a lot. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you very much. We'll get back to play a couple more ranked games here. But if you like a coaching session yourself, just email me at thestrategyprofessor@gmail.com. Let me know what you have in mind. Happy to set that up for you. Come by, check out the stream. Starts around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch more coaching sessions, I'll have a link in the description. And that's gonna be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day. See you next time. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back in here. I still wouldn't. I've experimented with Aftershock. I just wouldn't do it, honestly. There are very, very few high-level recons that run that, and the big reason is you don't stick around. Like, you should be nimble enough to get away from most situations, and you don't stick around to get any benefit out of the damage portion of Aftershock. And the movement speed off of Guardian is actually a really big deal when you Guardian onto people, giving them the movement speed and giving you the movement speed. It's a really good deal. Especially after they nerfed Aftershock now, to where you don't really get a lot of resistances unless you build resistances. Several Recon builds aren't going to give you that many resistances, so I wouldn't do it. And his base resistances are fairly low. So yeah, I wouldn't do it. I mean, there might be... That was a good game. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to take away from your good game, Sammy. You did do well, but since... You know, I'm just trying to help you do even better. So yeah, it did look like GA was probably 4 seconds there. So all of the stasis effects are 2.5, except for GA, I guess, which appears to be 4. Yeah, it's 4 seconds. Okay, fair enough. So that one is 4. But pretty much everything else, it's like where you go golden is going to be 2.5. I think Zillion's is 2.5. Zillion might also be 4 if it's imitating GA. $3 seconds on Zillion's. So Zillion's is a little weird. I mean, stasis is the terminology for being untargetable and undamageable, so anything that, and like unmove where you can't move. It does look different, but it's the same, like, basic thing. I mean, you're not being revived from the dead because you didn't actually die. You're basically becoming untargetable, all that stasis stuff, and then you get a heal when you come back up. Yeah. I know, but that's just, they don't want, they try to use as few terms as possible to make the game, like, as least, there's already so much going on, they don't need a different term for that. Zanya's is 2.5. Zanya's is 2.5, Stopwatch is 2.5, Bard's 2.5. Yeah, you usually are going to get placed, like, a lot lower than where you finished. I mean, I finished, I think I finished the preseason Diamond 4, and they, you know, I started off in Gold 1 or Gold 2. I think we went, like, 4 and 6 in promos, and we started off in Gold 2, I think. It was something like that. Pretty much everybody started a lot lower. It takes more time to climb. It's not a change to Zillion's ult, no. People were just discussing different stasis abilities a while ago. Who do I want to ban now if Cassidy's banned? Maybe Senna. Death's Dance has been reverted. So they're not, at least last I saw, they're not doing the Death's Dance change with the armor and magic resist thing. I guess I could ban Diana or Echo, maybe. I don't know about the Tiamat. So what they've done, they buffed. Last I saw, I mean, this is like the most up-to-date PvE that I've seen. The Ravenous Hydra and the Titanic are getting flat buffed once they're completed, but they aren't nerfing the Tiamat itself. I mean, I think it's unnecessary. I think that the champs that affects are already going to be pretty good on those champs. Most champs that get Tiamat don't fully complete it. So it's going to be a buff. I think the biggest champ it'll probably buff is Kled, because he actually does complete Titanic. Jax, I think, in many builds will complete Titanic, so like Jax and Kled. But they're already good. Like, I don't think it's going to buff up any champions that aren't already like pretty strong. I could play Nami, but I really don't want to do that into those 3 champs.
Let's dance.
Do you play a lot of Zyra, bro? Because I don't see a single one game of Zyra in the last 30 days. I'll just humor him. Okay. Okay, he does play jungle some. Doesn't play Zac. Their team's pretty good. Is this Shaco? Okay, that guy does play Cassio. They're basically all AD except Malphite. No, metas can last. There's not really a set time on meta. Typically the trend is tanks like go into worlds. So usually worlds has not like a full-on tank meta, but more tanks. Pros value tanks way higher than solo queue does. But typically, you know, if you're not going to see tanks in a meta, it's early on in a season. Or like maybe around mid-season, kind of like you're saying, but usually later on in the season. It's going to be tanks. Okay, well, hopefully that Malphite doesn't get ahead. Malphite is pretty toxic, yeah. There's not a lot of counterplay to him. When it comes every day with the soy boy, man.
Magic is
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Woo! I am so into this. What is this?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I don't like the corner. The bots are just coming out because I'm probably one of the more watched YouTube gaming channels this time of night.
I'm just trying to
On
live
YouTube.
the moment.
I don't know what, like, I mean, I'm not like the highest person, but I'm probably like top 100 or something. So, I mean, I imagine that just happens to people that just get viewers on their channel.
I look good. I feel good. Let's
Okay,
kick
that was a
some
good
ass.
ward. I should have warded somewhere over there. I can ward Scuttle here in a little bit. The second win, interact with Revitalize. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think so. But I don't know. I know Revitalize doesn't affect your natural HP regen. But so I'm not sure how second wind is coded. I think it's a separate heal, so I think it would affect it.
Hey!
Ooh, I don't know if ulting... I mean, I guess that does heal a little bit. I don't know if she got the CS for that. If she got the CS, maybe it's worth, but... Everyone thinks Leona's like a hard counter to Rakan. It's like, in theory, she should be good against her, but I don't know. I win a lot versus Leona. As Rakan. Like, my worst matchups are like Nami and like Janna.
I'm offended by how little attention I got.
Okay, so he preserved his passive. And we're hanging in there.
Around these forests and I see freedom. I hear the music.
Really don't want to ward that bush.
Rather strange.
And they did get that level up. We gotta be careful with that. This Senna's playing pretty well, considering this lane is like is pretty tough. Why nobody hits each other? What do you mean? In this game? We've been trading a lot. I mean, we're disadvantaged early. Leona's still very strong. Like, you gotta respect Leona early on. Or is that just more of a commentary about society? You think people should just fight in the streets more often? Yeah, this Senna's playing pretty well. Well, I just kind of described it. I actually have a pretty high win rate against Leona. I mean, you can shield the person that she goes onto and turn it around like I keep doing. I shield the Senna, knock up the ADC, and then shield back to the Senna. So she's got some of the best protection against Leona. You know, like Janna might be a little bit better, but... yeah, they're mostly AD, so we're gonna go ahead
I'm gonna burn this
Get
place
that.
down.
and just hopefully
Then help
Malphite
them build
doesn't
it back up, so I
blow
can
us up
burn it
later.
again.
I mean, it's thought that she counters because you can lock down the Rakan and potentially blow him up. Yeah, she does fall off. If she's not ahead.
See? Oh, it's over there.
Are they on Dragon? We probably have late. Yeah, with Cassio and Zac and Senna. Well, I mean, Jinx is pretty good too.
I do not wish to kill the mortals. I want them to hear the music.
I mean, I personally beat Leona a lot, but I think in general she might have a slightly favorable matchup in Rakan. Nami's a lot more difficult to deal with because like her wave is so hard to like, it just stops a lot of mobility. And of course she's got the bubble and she's really aggressive. She can trade with you early.
You're only given a little spark of madness.
I know she wants to go. We're actually not that much stronger. Like tier, we didn't really get any power.
An ally has been slain.
Zac comes down here, maybe. Oh my god, that Cassiopeia is murdering the Talon mid lane.
Has been slain.
That was kind of spooky. I maybe shouldn't have done that. But
I'm getting impatient.
some Talon could be rolling up. Well, that's unfortunate. Don't have any mana though. She still has a lot of mana. I don't know. I kind of gave up the back timing there. Hell. We should have just reset. It's really bad.
The humans will never understand our kind until
I should have just reset and had her just hang out at the tower. And this is where Jinx could potentially be a lot stronger. She's going to get Infinity Edge off of that. Because, like, Mana Immune is not that great early on. She only has, like, very, very few stacks with it.
Enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Okay. Senna has a lot of base power, though, you know, with her souls, but this is kind of where Jinx could really take
Enemy
advantage of
has
it.
been slain.
It's magic that's wild. I'm just here for the party.
They see me walking in here. This could be bad.
Damn it, Zion, where are you?
Hopefully she doesn't die. Please tell me you backed. No, she got engaged on me killed.
Enemy killing spree.
It's like, literally can't, like, the waves in their tower, like, why can't you back up for an actual literal, like, 15 seconds? Yeah, dude, commit. Oh God, he missed. Okay, that was a good roam by Cassio. Bramble Vest is usually pretty unusual on Zac. You could get that.
I don't do safe.
He doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could do it if they have a huge AD team like they kind of do right now. They don't really have any sustain on their team though, but.
Gotta get myself hyped. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Woo! All right.
Together.
I was hoping she was gonna get the kill, but I think she canceled an auto, so I'd use my flash on it. The snake, the snack. SNEK, man. Greatest secret in solo queue right now.
Don't want a war.
I mean, I really don't think that she had plenty of chances to kill him under tower. I really don't think that was a KS. You really don't want to do Runic on Zac, especially after the buffs to Cinderhulk.
It is a song you cannot resist. Take a lot of words. They will see me. They will see my dance. When you open your eyes, everything is limited.
Senna, after the Aphelios nerf, Senna ADC might actually just be the best right now for solo queue. I don't know. If you have like a decent support. What are they doing? I think they can't figure out what they want to do. Does Malphite even put a point in his ult or what? Like, he didn't use his ult to escape. He hasn't used his ult to, like, fight. He went tank. He went Comet with tank. Why not just go grasp? I was waiting on him. I'm, like, spreading out, thinking he's going to ult the Cassiopeia, but it's just not happening. I guess he just roll over and die. I don't know. What is Izzy? Oh, is that's supposed to be easy? Okay. In a non-bannable form, supposedly. What? He got the, like, honor on their team? I guess for being nice or something? I don't know. Yeah, it'd be nice if they could all be like that. Well, we've won 3 tonight, not just 2. 3 in a row, and we're at 80 now. Alright. I think, unfortunately, that's probably going to have to be it for me tonight. I hate to go out, but I have a huge stack of papers I have to grade. I'm already not going to get any sleep while I finish these up. So I think we're going to have to wait until tomorrow to get them. I'll try to stay on a bit longer tomorrow to try to make up for it. I'll see if we can do like 4.5 or 5 hours, but tonight I still have to grade like 20 essays. I mean, Malphite actually had the best KDA of anyone on his team. Not that that matters too much when you're getting destroyed, but we're doing all right. I mean, we obviously had a speed bump yesterday. We went like 50-50. I know, Sammy. I'm sorry, man, but I gotta try to get these done. I'm a little bit past due. I've been trying to get them out faster to them this semester. And these students really need it. I mean, some of them need to, like, see probably that they're failing so that they will step it up and maybe show up to class. I don't know. I can't do a Vagar game for $5, man. I mean, I love $5, but I can't set that precedent. I don't think. Do a ranked Vagar game. Dude, I'm going to lose. I need to get back to Diamond. I guess I'll do it for 20. Because I do need the money. Sadie literally just sits here and stares at me, waiting on the food. Alright, yeah, so if you donate 20, I'll do a Vagar in ranked. Unless you want to see me do it on my Smurf. That's what you want to see, isn't it? There might be one more game, Sammy. We'll see. Unless you want to see it tomorrow, Carlos. What do you want to do?
It's only a short way to ranked.
Tomorrow? Well, I mean, you're the person donating. Okay, if you're cool with doing it tomorrow, then we can do that. We can do that tomorrow then. Maybe we can do it in a promo game or something. And just throw one of the promo games. I mean, it's possible we could win with Vagar. It's not like it's impossible. But then at least we could win the next two. Okay, we'll just do it tomorrow then. Okay, so, or that could give me some time to see, like, maybe there's a certain, like, you know, like, that last game would have been okay to do it against a Leona. Would have been alright. Okay, I'll let you know where it is if you're not there. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm gonna get some paper grading, get me some more coffee, crank it up, go to class, have the grades for them, and then come back home tomorrow, go to sleep, be ready for the stream. But anyways, that's gonna be it. Thank you very much. Have a good day, and we'll see everybody next time.